another fantastic evening and morning and afternoon, but actually morning, Sunday morning at Pattaya City Expats Club. Should say good day, Sawasdee krub and konnichiwa, because today's talk was on Japan, Japanology 101, and the speaker was John Lynham. And John, who's a 10-year member at Pattaya City Expat Club, I'm just wondering if you could tell us how you first became interested in all things Nipponese.
Do you know, I've had a kind of interest in Japan since I was a small boy. I used to read Japanese war comics when I was a kid. And you'd see the soldier, Japanese soldier in his little hat, come over the top of the hill, screaming, "Banzai!" and landing on some poor hapless British guy and carving him to pieces. And I just thought that it was exciting, something about the war with Japan and the power of the Japanese military. Clearly, as I got older, I understood more about what happened in the Second World War and the disasters that happened on all sides in the Second World War. And I also got more interested in Japanese culture, you know, things like the art and some martial arts I was interested in. So always Japan was there as a kind of curious and intriguing place, which I never knew enough about.
I shared a lot of that interest. I have a black belt in Aikido and I was very interested in things Japanese. And you studied a bit of Aikido.
I did, yes. I did about 3 months in Sheffield, of all places, and it was wonderful to do, you know, to just the poise of being able to take a sword out of your belt and then be able to move it in 3 different ways and then put it back in your belt. And all this had to be done very, very precisely. I like the control and discipline of it.
For those of you not aware, Aikido is the Japanese art of drawing the sword, not just swordplay, just the drawing of the sword. And if you watch a film like Seven Samurai, it's very well illustrated in that. It's a very powerful and disciplined art form. And recently you finally bit the bullet and you used Thailand as a base to go to Japan. Now, a lot of us talk about using Thailand as a base to go to different Asian countries, but usually it's Cambodia or Myanmar or stuff. And why would you use Japan? What's the recommendation about Japan as a destination from here?
Well, it's kind of easy to get to from here. You know, from my country, England, you know, you're talking about a 12-hour flight or longer. And here it was 5.5 hours from Bangkok to Tokyo. Very easy to get to. Everybody thinks Japan is expensive, and I guess it was in former times, but now with the whole sort of deflation and the yen going down, it's actually, I wouldn't say it's a cheap holiday destination. Not compared with Thailand, but compared with a lot of Western countries, things are cheaper. So I would strongly recommend it for that reason. Get out and see it now.
Yes, you did it as a sort of visa run, and right. What I'd like to do is if you could tell some of the contrasts, and they are huge, between Japan and Thailand.
Well, one thing I noticed straight away was that when you get to a zebra crossing, a pedestrian crossing, the cars stop and they let you cross. And the Thais can't quite believe this when they go there. In fact, I had several experiences of getting to a normal road junction with no markings on it at all, and standing at the edge of the road, clearly wanting to cross, and the car would stop and let me cross. There's a tremendous civility and a tremendous, I don't know, it's a kind of discipline that honors everybody in Japan, and that is kind of quite striking after Thailand, which tends to be a little bit of an easygoing free-for-all. Sometimes that's a very good thing. Sometimes it slightly gets on your nerves.
Yeah, well, one of the many contrasts, Japan's a very, very heavily internalised thing. And we're used to seeing, for instance, the issue recently has come up in here about drunk driving, right? They're starting to breathalyse people, but the things are very specific in Japan around drinking and stuff. So would you like to share some of the difference in the Japanese drinking culture?
Yes, it's an interesting question that. You see, normally I don't drink alcohol, so I wasn't enticed really. I had 1 glass of Asahi beer with a plate of sushi that I had, because it was kind of the done thing. Everybody was taking beer with a sushi. I understand sake is very strong in Japanese culture. I went to a shrine in Tokyo where barrels of sake were presented as offerings, all with the brand names of the individual breweries, or distilleries I should say. So I know it's a strong part of the culture, but I didn't get into it myself.
Yeah, one of the things is there's zero drinking if you drive in Japan. You cannot drink at all. Well, we don't have much time to explore it. Japan is a fascinating place, and it was a great talk with some great illustrations. Just a quick word on your writing group. Tell us a little bit. He runs a writing group for the club. Tell us what you do there.
Yeah, the writing group is actually celebrating its 10th anniversary this month. We've been going for 10 years as a little offshoot of the Pattaya City Expats Club, and we just meet once a week. We're a group of people who enjoy writing for fun. It's not meant to be teaching skills. We're not teaching people how to write articles or even the skills of writing fiction. We just get together, we throw ideas up in the air, and then we write for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then read out things to entertain each other. Now, some people in the group do then go home and work up their pieces, with a view to publication. But that's not the purpose of the group. The purpose of the group is just have a good time.
So there you go. One of the many, many things that you can do with the Pattaya City Expat Club. They have these interest groups attached to it, such as the writing group. Was a fascinating talk about how to tour Japan and the power, the absolute power. What is the one thing you must take with you to Japan?
The Lonely Planet Guide to Japan.
And that's gold in any country, Lonely Planet, and check out their website. So hope to see you back here next week. There's 3 talkers next week. They'll all be very informative. And for now, this is Renlik Sander for Pattaya Mail and Pattaya City Expats Club, thanking John Lynham and hoping to see you here next week. We had another huge turnout. It's a beautiful day. Enjoy your next week in Pattaya.